What's up guys, my name is Ace, and yesterday was quite a big news day when it comes to the Warzone side of things with Call of Duty. We got a ton of information about changes that we can expect to see coming with Warzone in Season 2 and a little bit beyond. And then also beyond that, we got confirmation of Warzone 2, which is going to be launching and integrating with the next Call of Duty game, which is now confirmed to be a sequel of Modern Warfare 2019. Now, in today's video, I wanted to just focus on the Warzone 1 side of things. We're not talking about Warzone 2, we're not talking about the next Call of Duty game. I feel like those could be covered in a video on their own, so I can actually get into enough depth with each of these topics. Today, we're just focusing on the current Warzone and the changes that we're going to be seeing, and whether or not these changes are enough to bring me back into Warzone, because as I'm sure many of you guys have noticed, I haven't talked about Warzone in quite some time, hasn't been featured on the channel at all, and this is simply because I haven't been enjoying it. I haven't even touched Warzone in about 2 months or so, and before that, it had been many months since I had really gotten into Warzone and played it. And I'm quite happy just playing Vanguard. I'm still having a good time with Vanguard. I know that's not necessarily a popular thing, and my income has definitely taken a big hit because I've transitioned into that, but I made the decision to focus on doing what I actually enjoy doing, and that's why I haven't been covering Warzone. But having said that, that may end up changing with Season 2, at least to some extent, because we've got so many improvements coming to the game that many of us have been waiting for a very long time. Some of these things we've been asking for essentially since Warzone launched. So let's dive in and get through the list of quality of life improvements that we can expect with Season 2. First up, we have vehicle handling. They're going to be tightening that up and improving that a little bit, which is nice to see, especially with the World War II vehicles. I feel like those are really rough to be controlling. Then they're going to be lowering the parachute deploy height, so you'll be able to open that closer to the ground and still survive. They're increasing player mantle height, so that should make it easier to be like climbing up rocks and difficult surfaces. They're adjusting vehicle as well as player collision, so hopefully that makes it so you don't have people blocking doors. And also the vehicles aren't going to be hitting like invisible ledges and things like that. Then finally, with that gas mask animation, they're going to be making it so if you're aiming down sight, that animation won't trigger and it won't interrupt your gunfight. And this is something we've been asking for a very long time. This was one of my earliest complaints with Warzone, was that stupid gas mask animation getting you killed in the middle of a gunfight. Now, with Season 2, as long as you stay aiming down sight, that animation won't interrupt, which is excellent to see. Another big thing that I've been asking for since pretty much the launch of Warzone, and this is armor plates are going to actually give you plus 50 armor until your armor is filled up, rather than the current system, and the system Warzone has always had, where if one of your armor plates was slightly damaged and you placed another armor plate in, it would repair that damaged armor plate first before allowing you to put in a full plate, and that was just completely illogical and backwards. So this is actually a huge one, and I really like this change. If anything, this is probably the change that really tipped the scales for me and makes me want to come back and try playing Warzone again. Also, when it comes to aim assist, they're going to be nerfing aim assist when stunned, which again, this is something I have been asking for. Even though I am a controller player, it was completely broken to have aim assist basically ignore a stun grenade and allow you to track targets while being stunned. So they're going to be fixing that, so if you stun a controller player, they're actually going to be properly stunned. Then they're going to be nerfing the fighter planes in Vanguard Royale. They're nerfing the canisters that are around the map. They're buffing the anti-air cannons. They're allowing us to drop satchels as well as gas masks. And finally, they're going to be making it so you can control the state that your character is in once you are revived. So you can revive directly into being prone if you decide to do that, instead of having to stand up initially and potentially get yourself picked off while you're extremely low health immediately after a revive. Now, one last thing I wanted to mention here that isn't coming with Season 2, but this is expected for Season 3. This is going to be adjustments to the audio design in Warzone, which sounds like a very welcome change as well. So there we have it. That's a pretty long list of great quality of life changes that we can expect to see with Warzone in Season 2. And like I said, many of these things are exactly what we've been asking for a very long time. Now, on top of all of this, we finally got official acknowledgement of an FOV slider for console players in Warzone. And this is likely not the news that you guys wanted to hear, but the FOV slider doesn't look like it's coming anytime soon, and we probably shouldn't expect it at all for this iteration of Warzone. We're almost definitely going to have to wait for Warzone 2 in order to get that console FOV slider, even for the new generation of consoles, so PS5 as well as Xbox Series X. And this is frustrating. At the same time, I'm really glad that they finally actually came out and acknowledged this, because they've been dodging that question for a very, very long time. And I'm relieved at least for them to finally come out and say it and just say, hey, it's not coming, don't expect it. That's at least so much better than complete silence and constantly dodging the issue. Now with this, since we finally have a solid answer on that, I still think we should have console-only crossplay available, where both PlayStation as well as Xbox players, they should have the ability to disable crossplay against PC players. When one platform has a gameplay-altering setting available and the others don't, it is not a level playing field, and we're not just talking about performance boosts here, like higher FPS or better resolution. This is an actual gameplay-altering setting that allows you to see more at any given time. I've covered this extensively in the past, and I really feel now that we have that solid answer, the next best thing that we can hope for is actual console-only crossplay, where both PlayStation as well as Xbox players have the ability to separate themselves from PC lobbies. I think that's only fair if they insist on keeping the FOV slider option available for PC players. And finally, the last big important thing that I wanted to mention in this video as it relates to the current iteration of Warzone, it looks like there's no immediate plans for ranked play. It seems like they are definitely looking into ranked play and trying to come up with a formula for ranked play. But from the sounds of it, I wouldn't be holding your breath for that. It's not likely to be coming anytime in the near future. And that's really disappointing to see as well. I really feel that that is something that's very important for Warzone going forward. I think there's a ridiculously large difference between players that are grinding Warzone day in, day out versus the casual player that just hops in maybe for a session or two every week. I think many of the heavy grinders are getting very bored of Warzone and also frustrated with many of the skill gap reducing elements that are in Warzone, and like the really fast time to kill, for instance. Whereas on the other side of that, I've noticed a lot of casual players are really frustrated because they feel like they simply can't compete with the people that are playing day in, day out. Even though there is skill-based matchmaking in place, there's still going to be plenty of crossover there, and that seems to be causing a loss in players on both sides of that. Whereas ranked play, I think, would solve this issue in a lot of ways, where it would give something for those heavy grinders to work toward, something to grind toward, assuming they had solid rewards, and that would alleviate some of the pressure in the regular unranked modes for those players that just want to hop on and play at a super casual level. So there we have it. That's all the main news and things that we can expect for Warzone in Season 2 coming up next week. As for whether or not this is enough to bring me back, I've got to say, I'm pretty impressed with a lot of these changes, even though I do feel like they're a long time coming. And in some ways, I'm kind of feeling like this is too little, too late. This is stuff that should have been done a year ago or more with Warzone. But there's still positive changes. I think we're going to be seeing some great gameplay improvements here. And I'm definitely interested in at least hopping back in and checking out Warzone once Season 2 launches. I don't really know if this is going to be enough to suck me back into Warzone long term, or if it's going to be enough to make me want to start making content on Warzone again, but at the very least, it's enough for me to check it out and see how things are playing. And I know that may not be the answer that many of you Warzone players wanted to hear. I know a lot of people subscribe to this channel for Warzone content, and I haven't been providing that for you guys. But at the end of the day, I think just the core of Warzone, and maybe even Battle Royales in general, no longer have that same sort of draw or pull for me. And like I said at the beginning of the video, I'm still having way more fun in Vanguard despite all the issues that it has. I'm having way more fun playing regular multiplayer Call of Duty over a Battle Royale. Now, having said that, when Warzone 2 comes out, presumably with a ton of changes and a complete rework to the entire formula, I'm really excited for that, and I'm likely going to be making a ton of content when that comes out. But I guess time will tell with that, and that's something to talk about in a future video. This is where I want to hear from you guys in the comment section below, though. What do you think about all of these changes and improvements that are coming with Season 2 of Warzone? And also, what do you think about the fact that they've now officially confirmed that an FOV slider is not on the way for console anytime soon? If you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated. And don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.